I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Michael Cohen warned Donald Trump's co-defendants directly. This is what is going to happen to you. Look what happened to me. Remember when Michael Cohen testified before Congress? A lot of these members of Congress were there asking Cohen questions, these MAGA Republicans, and Cohen was saying, look, here is what's going to happen to you. One of them, actually, at the time, was Mark Meadows, Donald Trump's former chief of staff and now current co-defendant. And I asked Michael Cohen, he's my co-host on Political Beatdown, so I get to ask him directly, what do you think about Mark Meadows filing all these motions to try to get the case filed by Fulton County District Attorney Phony Willis from state court to federal court and then trying to block getting arrested? And what do you think, just in general, Cohen, about all these MAGA Republicans out there, in general, from the Lauren Boeberts to the Matt Gaetz and all of them? Cohen has one of the greatest responses. And of course, in my interview with him, he gives the famous Michael Cohen two-finger salute. So let's bring on Michael Cohen, where he responds not just to the warning he gave Mark Meadows, or not, talks about not just only the warning he gave to Mark Meadows, but also just these other WWE cosplay fascists in Congress. Cohen says it the best. Here, let's bring him on. Play the clip.
You know why? Because for the exact reasons that I had stated, that Donald Trump would be paler than Casper the Ghost if, in fact, he had to go through the process the way everybody else goes through it. And Mark Meadows is not going to get the Donald J. Trump former president treatment. That I can promise you. And so this whole process is very gut-wrenching. And Mark Meadows is now beginning to feel the pressure that everybody else in America that ends up having any issue whatsoever, justified or not, that they go through. Mark Meadows is now feeling that pressure. And I couldn't be happier, to be honest with you, that he's feeling it. I warned that moron. I warned him when I testified before the House Oversight Committee, and he decided that he wanted to turn around and challenge when I stated that Donald Trump is a racist. And he paraded out Lynn Patton, the only biracial person that worked at the Trump organization, right? Was Lynn, and to turn around and say that she's very close with Eric and with Lara Trump. So therefore, Donald, who hired her on behalf of the company, which is not true. It was actually Eric that hired her at my request, that clearly Donald cannot be a racist as a direct result. It's really such a stupid argument, no matter how you want to slice it. But I warn Mark Meadows, you are selling your soul to somebody who is soulless. And rest assured, what he did to me, he's going to end up doing to you, because you're not special. Did he listen to me? The answer is no. And you know what? Sometimes you got to learn your lessons there, Mark. Now, I did want to ask you something. The letter that you put up from the House Caucus, that Freedom Caucus group, can we post that one more time for a second? Yeah, who signed this letter, Salty?
You know,
is there a second page to this?
It seems to be written on behalf of the entire Freedom Caucus, which is made up of like Gaetz and all of the kind of ultra MAGA, like they're all MAGA, but it's that group of people who really control Kevin McCarthy. They're the ones who held up McCarthy's nomination. So
you're going to really tell me that they put out a document that's unsigned? Can you imagine? And that was the point. I thought maybe we were missing a second page onto it. You know, look, this is the whole problem with the Lauren Boeberts, the Marjorie Toilet Greens, the Matt Gaetz, the whole group of them. Right? They're so entrenched, and they're so knee deep into the dumpster fire of the Trump cult that they don't even know what the hell they're doing anymore. They don't know what they're saying. It's all, how can I be more, of a shock jock than of a congressman? And the shit that they say and the stuff that they put out, they're too embarrassed to even put their names on it. Well, you know what? To each and every one of you, and you all know who you are, because I actually don't know who's fully a part of this Freedom Caucus. For you, you get the two fucking finger salute today. Fuck you all in your stupidity. Do you not understand how precious democracy is? Do you not understand that the United States should never be an autocracy. We should never be a monarchy. And that's exactly what Donald Trump is looking to do. How stupid do you have to be to think that he will be loyal to you when he becomes the autocrat? In fact, he'll be just like Caesar was. He's going to start stabbing people and beheading people. It's going to be no different than watching the Handmaid's Tale, when you're going to have one commander shooting and killing and throwing another commander under the bus, because Donald is the ultimate alpha. He will not allow anybody else, and anyone who starts to think that they too are an alpha will get the Kim Jong-un treatment of getting tied to a fucking tree and having somebody with a rocket, right? Shoot a rocket launcher at you, blow you and the tree up with, while you're watching this whole thing happening, like supposedly Kim Jong-un did to his uncle. This is who Donald Trump is. And the fact that they're not able to see it, members of Congress. Now, forget about the fact that whether or not he actually paid for this young girl, took her over state lines. I mean, does anything anymore preclude any of these GOP radical, ridiculous fools? Does anything preclude them anymore from running or holding office? I mean, thank goodness, at least the Queens people, right? The Long Island Queens people that are in George Santos's, district. Fortunately, they see through the fraud that this guy is. And chances are that he's going to get the shit kicked out of him at the upcoming, election. But this is really no joke. I mean, how many George Santos's should exist in Congress? How many Matt Gaetz's, Josh Hawley's, Marjorie Taylor Greene's? I mean, how many of them do we need? And the answer is 0. We don't want any of them. We really need to stop this bullshit. And that's why, I say this every time, Brigaders. Some people love it. Some people aren't so happy with it. We must ensure that a blue wave in 2024 is so significant that there is no possibility whatsoever of any of these individuals ever returning back to DC, starting with the Mandarin Mussolini himself.
And make sure you subscribe. Cohen's so good. Make sure you subscribe to Political Beatdown wherever you get audio podcasts, and hit subscribe right now on our YouTube channel. We're on our way to 2 million subscribers thanks to your support. Hit subscribe and have a great day.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.